Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have more money than others even when they earn the same amount? It's an age-old question that's puzzled many of us. Today we're going to delve into the intricacies of this conundrum, focusing on the spending habits that can make or break our journey to wealth accumulation. Picture this: two individuals, both earning a decent living, yet at the end of the day, one seems to be faring better financially. The difference, it's not magic, nor is it sheer luck. It's about how they handle their money. Wealth accumulation is not solely about how much you earn, but rather how much of that income you manage to keep and grow. Now, you might think that's a simple concept, yet it's astonishing how many of us falter when it comes to the practical application. This is particularly prevalent among the middle class, where the allure of consumerism can often outshine the importance of saving and investing. So, what's the secret sauce to wealth accumulation? It's all about spending habits. We're not just talking about curbing the desire to splurge on that shiny new gadget or the latest fashion trend. It's about understanding needs versus wants, making informed financial decisions, and prioritizing long-term financial security over short-term gratification. In the grand scheme of things, these habits may seem small, almost insignificant, but their impact on your financial health is enormous. It's like a snowball effect. A small change today can lead to a significant difference in the future. It's important to realize that wealth is not about flashy cars and opulent homes. It's about financial freedom, the ability to live comfortably without the constant worry about money. And that, my friends, is achieved not by earning more, but by spending wisely. So the next time you find yourself wondering why some people seem to be doing better financially, remember this: the difference in wealth accumulation often boils down to how we spend our money. Imagine John, a typical middle-class individual, living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet despite a decent income. John was always living on the edge, barely scraping by each month, and often found himself falling back on credit cards to cover unexpected expenses. His life was a constant cycle of earning and spending with little to nothing left for savings. His lifestyle was dictated by trends and the latest gadgets, not by his actual needs or financial capacity. Then came the turning point. John found himself knee-deep in debt, with no savings to fall back on. This was a wake-up call. He realized that his spending habits were not sustainable and were in fact leading him down a path of financial instability. Determined to turn things around, John embarked on a journey towards financial freedom. He started by setting a budget, a simple yet effective tool to track his income and expenses. He cut down on non-essential spending, prioritizing needs over wants. The latest gadgets and trends no longer dictated his lifestyle. Instead, he focused on long-term financial goals. He also started setting aside a portion of his income for savings and investments, understanding the importance of growing his wealth, not just earning it. Over time, John began to see the difference. His financial health improved. He was no longer living paycheck to paycheck, and he had savings to fall back on during emergencies. John's story is a testament to the power of changing one's spending habits. It's a reminder that financial freedom is not about earning more, but about spending wisely. So, the next time you find yourself caught in the cycle of constant spending, remember John's journey. It's never too late to change your spending habits and pave your way to financial freedom. The middle class often find themselves in a financial rut, despite earning decent salaries. But why? Let's delve into the spending patterns of the middle class to shed light on this puzzling conundrum. One common trait we observe is the tendency to live paycheck to paycheck. It's a cycle that's easy to fall into and difficult to break out of. When the lion's share of your income is spent covering monthly bills and expenses, there's little left for savings or investments. This lifestyle, while manageable, leaves no room for financial growth, trapping individuals in the perpetual state of just getting by. Next, we have the culture of consumerism. We live in an age where advertising is pervasive, driving us to crave the latest gadgets, the most fashionable clothing, and the snazziest cars. The middle class, not immune to this allure, often splurge on non-essential items, not out of necessity, but to keep up with the trends. This buy now, worry later mentality can lead to unnecessary spending, leaving less for long-term financial goals. Lastly, there's the lack of financial planning. Many middle-class individuals have a vague idea of budgeting and saving, but without a solid plan, it's easy to veer off course. Without clear financial goals and a strategy to achieve them, money can slip through the fingers like water. Moreover, the absence of an emergency fund can lead to reliance on credit during unexpected situations, creating a debt cycle that's hard to escape. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. Recognizing these patterns is the first step towards change. By shifting the focus from immediate gratification towards long-term financial security, it's possible to break free from these habits. In the end, these spending habits can become a roadblock to wealth accumulation. But with awareness, discipline, and a solid financial plan, the middle class can pave their way towards financial freedom and prosperity. Remember, the power to change your financial future is in your hands. Make it count. Meet the Joneses, a typical middle-class family with a decent income but struggling to accumulate wealth. The Joneses represent a common scenario in many middle-class households. They have a respectable income, they're hardworking, and they're doing their best to provide a comfortable life for their family. Yet, despite their efforts, they find it challenging to build substantial wealth. You see, the Joneses live in a comfortable suburban home, drive a couple of nice cars, and their children attend private school. On the surface, it seems they're doing quite well for themselves. However, when you delve deeper into their finances, a different picture emerges. The Joneses, like many middle-class families, have a penchant for the finer things in life. They enjoy dining out at upscale restaurants, they take annual vacations to exotic locales, and they have a fondness for designer clothes. While there's nothing inherently wrong with indulging in these luxuries, it's the frequency and scale of these expenditures that begin to chip away at their wealth. This lifestyle is often fueled by the desire to keep up with societal norms and expectations, or as it's commonly referred to, keeping up with the Joneses. Ironically, our Joneses are caught up in the same cycle, perpetuating a lifestyle that's beyond their means. The Joneses' spending habits are a significant factor impeding their wealth accumulation. Every dollar spent on non-essential items is a dollar that could have been saved or invested. Compound this over years, and the amount of potential wealth lost is staggering. Furthermore, their spending habits have led to the accumulation of debt. The cars they drive aren't fully paid off, there's still a sizable mortgage on their home, and credit card bills are an ever-present worry. This debt not only adds to their financial stress, but also diverts money away from savings and investments. Now, it's important to note that the Joneses aren't reckless or irresponsible with their money. They're simply caught up in a cycle where their spending habits and lifestyle choices are preventing them from achieving financial independence. Despite their decent income, they're living paycheck to paycheck. They're not alone in this. Countless middle-class families are stuck in the same predicament. They're unable to escape the cycle because they're trapped by their spending habits and the societal pressures to maintain a certain lifestyle. The Joneses' story serves as a cautionary tale. It's a stark reminder that income alone does not equate to wealth. It's how you manage that income, how you save, how you spend, and how you invest that truly matters. So, what can the Joneses do to change their financial trajectory? Well, that's a discussion for another scene. Now let's meet Sarah, a middle-class income earner who has managed to accumulate wealth through mindful spending and astute financial planning. Sarah, unlike the Joneses, has always believed in the power of financial planning and setting clear, achievable goals. She doesn't earn a lot more than the Joneses, but her approach to spending and saving is vastly different. Sarah has always been mindful of her spending habits, distinguishing between her needs and wants. She opts for practicality over luxury and saves her money for meaningful experiences rather than material possessions. She doesn't dine at expensive restaurants every weekend, nor does she splurge on designer clothes. Instead, she chooses to live within her means, focusing on her financial security and future. Sarah's success isn't just about her spending habits, though. She's also managed to shun debt. Unlike many middle-class families, Sarah doesn't have an enormous mortgage or car loans. She prefers to save and invest her money rather than borrowing to fund a lifestyle beyond her means. She understands the value of money and the detrimental effect of debt on wealth accumulation. As a result, she's been able to invest wisely, building a substantial nest egg for her future. Sarah's story is a testament to the power of mindful spending habits and astute financial planning. Despite earning a middle-class income, she's managed to accumulate wealth and secure her financial future. It goes to show that with discipline, clear goals, and the right spending habits, wealth accumulation is indeed achievable, regardless of income level. Sarah's story is a shining example of how the right spending habits can pave the way for wealth accumulation. Debt can be a significant barrier to wealth accumulation, but how does it factor into the spending habits of the middle class? Let's take a moment to delve into this critical aspect. You see, debt, in many ways, can be likened to a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but as it continues its downward journey, it gathers more snow, increasing in size and momentum. The same principle applies to debt. When individuals, particularly those in the middle class, make spending choices that exceed their income, they often resort to borrowing. Initially, this may seem harmless, a temporary fix until the next paycheck arrives, but over time the borrowed amount keeps accumulating, and before they know it, they're trapped in a vicious cycle of debt. Just like the snowball, the debt amasses more snow, in this case interest. This interest can be a silent killer of wealth accumulation. It constantly gnaws at your income, leaving you with less to save or invest. Moreover, the stress associated with being in debt often leads to poor financial decisions, further exacerbating the situation. The middle class, with their aspirations for a better lifestyle, often fall into this trap. They are lured in by the charm of immediate gratification, which leads to overspending and ultimately debt. This debt then becomes a significant roadblock in their path to wealth accumulation. The irony is that the very lifestyle they aspire to achieve becomes a distant dream due to the burden of debt. It's a cycle of aspiration, spending, debt and regret that continues unless conscious steps are taken to break free. So how does one break free? By understanding and acknowledging the impact of debt on wealth accumulation, by comprehending that the desire for immediate gratification and the habit of living beyond one's means are the catalysts that fuel the fire of debt. Remember, debt is often the result of poor spending choices and can significantly hinder wealth accumulation. It's crucial to keep this in mind as we navigate our financial journey, aspiring not just for a rich lifestyle, but a rich life. Now let's consider the Smiths, who have managed to accumulate wealth despite earning the same as the Joneses. The Smiths, like the Joneses, are a middle-class family. However, their spending habits and financial management strategies starkly contrast those of the Joneses. Let's delve into the Smiths' financial journey to uncover the secrets of their success. Firstly, the Smiths believe in financial planning. They set clear, achievable financial goals and work tirelessly towards them. They understand the value of time in the equation of wealth accumulation. Every month, they set aside a portion of their income for savings and investments. This discipline is not easy, but they've made it a habit, and it's a habit that's paying off. Secondly, the Smiths are mindful spenders. They avoid impulse purchases and instead focus on buying what they need rather than what they want. They've mastered the art of distinguishing between needs and wants, a skill that many of us find challenging. This doesn't mean they live a life of deprivation. On the contrary, they enjoy their life but do so within their means. They plan for big purchases and save for them, avoiding the trap of instant gratification that leads to debt. The Smiths also understand the power of negotiation. They're not afraid to haggle or ask for discounts. They shop around for the best deals, whether it's insurance, utilities, or groceries. They don't see it as being cheap, but as being smart. Every penny saved is a penny earned, after all. Thirdly, the Smiths shun debt like the plague. They understand that debt is a wealth killer. They use credit cards for convenience and rewards, not for credit. They pay their balance in full every month, thus avoiding interest charges. If they can't afford something, they don't buy it. It's as simple as that. They've instilled this discipline in their children too, teaching them the value of money from a young age. Finally, the Smiths invest wisely. They've diversified their investment portfolio, spreading their money across a mix of assets. They're not looking for quick wins, but steady, long-term growth. They understand that every investment carries risk, but they're comfortable with that. They stay informed and make educated decisions about their investments. And so, the Smiths, with the same income as the Joneses, have managed to build wealth. They've done this not by earning more, but by spending less, saving more, and investing wisely. Their story is a testament to the power of good financial habits and discipline. The Smiths show us that with the right spending habits, wealth accumulation is achievable even for the middle class. So how can the middle class change their spending habits to accumulate wealth? It's a question that's been on your mind, hasn't it? Well, the answer lies in three key areas: managing your money wisely, budgeting effectively, and cultivating smart spending habits. Let's dive into the details. First and foremost, managing your money wisely is crucial. This involves creating a financial plan and sticking to it. Start by identifying your income sources and your expenses, then prioritize your spending, focusing on needs rather than wants. This doesn't mean you shouldn't indulge once in a while, but make sure it's a planned indulgence, not an impulsive spree. Next, let's talk about budgeting. It's the cornerstone of financial success. A well-prepared budget is like a roadmap guiding you towards your financial goals. It involves plotting your income, your fixed expenses like rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, and your variable expenses such as entertainment or dining out. Once you've allocated your income to these categories, you'll have a better understanding of where your money goes and where you can make adjustments. Now, onto smart spending habits. It's about being mindful of your purchases and asking yourself, do I really need this before buying? It's about distinguishing between necessities and luxuries and understanding the impact of each purchase on your overall financial health. It's about seeking value, not just in terms of price, but also in terms of utility and longevity. Also, don't forget the importance of saving and investing. Start saving a portion of your income, no matter how small. These savings can serve as an emergency fund or can be put towards long-term financial goals. Meanwhile, investing allows your money to grow over time, thanks to the magic of compound interest. Let's not overlook the significance of avoiding unnecessary debt. While credit can be a useful tool when used wisely, it can also become a trap if not managed properly. And always remember, if you can't afford to pay for it in cash, you probably can't afford it. Remember, changing your spending habits can be the key to unlocking wealth accumulation. It's a journey, not a sprint, but with patience and discipline, you can transform your financial future. The power to accumulate wealth lies in our spending habits, and there we have it, the crux of our discussion today. We've journeyed together through the labyrinth of spending habits and patterns, from the Joneses to the Smiths, from the middle-class conundrum to the impact of debt. All these narratives have been interwoven to drive home one singular point: the power of wise spending. Let's revisit the key takeaway from each scene, the spending habits conundrum, where we unveiled the paradox of earning more but having less. It's not about how much you earn, but how you manage what you have. The middle-class spending pattern, where we dissected the common pitfalls and traps that ensnare many in the perpetual cycle of paycheck-to-paycheck living. Again, the power lies not in earning more, but spending wisely. We met the Joneses, who were perpetually chasing after the latest trends, caught in the grip of consumerism. Their story highlighted the dangers of the keeping up with the Joneses mentality and the heavy toll it takes on financial health. But then we met the Smiths, who chose a different path. Their journey showcased the benefits of frugality, living within one's means, and the power of delayed gratification. The impact of debt scene was a stark reminder of how easy it is to fall into the debt trap. It illustrated the burden that reckless spending habits can place on our shoulders. Money management tips for wealth accumulation pointed us towards the path of financial freedom. It emphasized the importance of budgeting, investing, and saving as the essential tools for wealth accumulation. And now, we are here at the power of wise spending, where all these threads converge. Wealth accumulation is not about earning more, but about spending less, spending wisely, and investing smartly. It's about making your money work for you rather than working for your money. Change your spending habits, and you change your wealth accumulation. It's that simple.